So this, of course, is a remake of the 2004 comedy classic of the same name. Now, personally, I love the original Mean Girls movie, and this remake, unfortunately, pretty much just does everything that that original movie did, but just way, way worse. The only two performances I liked in this movie were the guy who played Damien and Renee Rapp as Regina George. All the other performances I either thought were mid or bad, especially the girl who plays Katie. I thought she was honestly pretty bad in this role. All the song transitions were incredibly jarring. The lyrics of these songs are also pretty cringy as well. It's shockingly unfunny, and just because this movie has bigger sets and more big choreographed dance numbers doesn't mean it ever captures the same laugh out loud moments or the same heart from that original. Chalk this one up in a sea of remakes. We're watching it, I just wanted to watch the original again. So this is a straight-to-Netflix movie that was based on a book, and this is animated and done by DreamWorks Animation. And to be honest, I actually had a really fun time watching this movie. I think my favorite part about the movie is how creative it was. The way it presents its story is very interesting. There's a lot of twists and turns in the way that they tell the story that I thought was really, really cool. The explanation of the routine of these nighttime characters was always very creative, and I had a blast learning about this world. Orion is a very fun character to follow because he has a really fun and interesting character arc. I thought the animation was gorgeous. The nighttime scenes are incredibly inviting with all the vibrant colors in it. This movie has a lot of strong heart, and yeah, you should honestly check this one out. Skip Megamind 2, the absolute trash that it is, and watch this one. You might be missing out on an underrated gem. So this is actually a little 9-minute YouTube short that of course you can watch on YouTube right now, done by the YouTuber Righteous Robot. And honestly, this was really fun. I really liked a lot of the themes that this one tackles, the theme of how someone might show affection and love. I thought it was very fun, I thought it was very silly at times, but of course I thought the heartfelt and emotional moments definitely hit hard. Someone who has experienced the exact same thing that the main characters are kind of going through in this, definitely I could see getting a very strong emotional reaction out of this one. But of course, the standout in this is the animation. There's a reason why so many of this guy's videos is behind the scenes on how he does his outstanding paper animation. And I really like that this is blowing up. It's really cool to see indie creators kind of getting a huge voice on the platform. There's going to be a link in the description for this one. If you want to check it out, you might have a lot of fun with this one. So this is a straight-to-Netflix fantasy adventure film starring Millie Bobby Brown. And honestly, I just thought this movie was totally just fine. I definitely didn't hate it as much as a lot of other people are doing right now, but I thought Millie Bobby Brown was pretty good in this role. I thought the story was interesting at some points, even though there are places that I wanted the story to go where it didn't go instead. And the effects, honestly, aren't great for a lot of the movie, but if you're kind of just looking for kind of a turn your brain off, kind of bland, kind of generic fantasy film, check this one out if you're into that kind of thing. But honestly, I just thought this movie was just fine. It's fine. So this, of course, is a straight-to-Prime Video remake of the 80s classic of the same name. Now, as someone who hasn't even seen that original 80s Roadhouse movie, I actually kind of had some fun with this one. Jake Gyllenhaal, I thought, gave a really fun performance as this guy who seemed like a really nice guy on the surface, but also definitely don't fuck with him and definitely don't get on his bad side. I thought his performance was the most fun in the third act, where all the crazy, insane action happens. The fight scenes were pretty fun, the choreography was very electrifying, the Post Malone cameo was really funny. And honestly, I thought the worst part about the movie was Conor McGregor's performance. He is way too goofy for this tone that the movie is struggling to find. Sometimes the movie is very goofy, like Conor McGregor's performance, and sometimes it is very, very serious, and it honestly doesn't really know which tone to stick with. As someone, again, who hasn't seen that original 80s one, I have no idea if this lives up to that, but honestly, I had fun. So this, of course, as the title suggests, is kind of just a little short story within the universe of the Spider-Verse movies, and I honestly thought this was pretty cool. It does kind of play out like this is almost like an apology for Beyond the Spider-Verse not releasing this weekend, and it almost kind of just feels like a placeholder for whenever that movie is released. But I thought it was cool. The animation looks great. I don't have to be another YouTuber to tell you that the Spider-Verse animation looks great. It is kind of cool that a lot of people are saying that it kind of leans into the horror aspect. It definitely does. It's definitely a lot more creepy. I could definitely definitely see a lot of the younger fans finding this creepy and unsettling. But honestly, the way this ends, I just kind of wanted a little more. Yes, I know, again, it's a short story within a big universe of big 2-hour-long superhero movies, but honestly, I just kind of wished this was a little more so you could see that final conversation that is shown at the end. This is pretty fun. If you like the Spider-Verse movies, this is kind of essential watching.